Okay, so you've got your cat rigged up to turn on the camera, and we've seen there's some blocks that talk about the camera and detect the motion. What we're going to do now is we're going to use those as controls, like using the arrows. Now, you've used the arrow keys so many times, but we could say, like using the arrow keys, do this with me, pause me if you need to catch up. We always say that the cat would always, always, always be asking, well, if, and we've always done, back to this sensing, we've always done things like they press space, then play a sound. Now you may not have the meow sound, but you've got some sound that it will play right there. So basically this is not using the camera. When I hit run, it's just waiting, and every time I hit space, it will meow, right? So that's what we're saying always. If they press space, meow. If they press space, meow. Now, what I want to say is I don't want to use the keyboard. Trash this. So pause me and catch up. Make sure you've got this forever loop. Make sure you've got the if statement. Make sure you got the sound playing. What I want is I want to respond to the motion. But notice this motion will not fit in that if statement because it's the wrong shape. Because this motion is just a number. I can't say if 5, right? So what you need is you need to compare that number to something. So we're going to hop over to your green. I'm going to say in your operators, let's find this greater than right here. Now pause me if you need to catch up. I'm going to pick up this video. I'm going to try to put it in that first spot. Now you have to get the left corner of it in there. Sometimes it's a pain because you're like waving it like this and it's like, nope, you're going to put the left corner of it in there. And this number here is kind of random, just depends on how sensitive you want it to be. So I'm going to say like, let's say 30. And this number just depends on, sorry. It depends on how fast the movement is over the sprite. Now, sorry, I had this turned to 100% transparency because I got tired of seeing my face. But I'm going to turn it back to 75% transparency. And when I run it, there's my face. Ooh, my face triggered the motion. I'm going to get my face out of the way because I don't want to see it. But forever, now notice this this number right here, there's almost no motion over the top of that sprite. But if I take my hand, oop, that triggered some motion. Right? If I got the motion going over here, right, that number is really small because there's no motion on that sprite. Awesome. Now if you wanted to, you could play with this number, and I don't really know what is best. I could say, right, so it's like it's not listening because that's not enough motion. It has to be, right, now if it has to get up to 75, it's going to be some huge motion. So play with that until you like it, and that would be awesome. Now, that's just detecting if there's enough motion, it does something, right? And so it's quiet until there's some huge motion on it, right? It's got to be some big motion. A small motion won't do it. Now, oh, hello. Now, here we go. Let's do this. One other thing you could do is hit your blue block over here, and I want you to see this point in direction. Right now he's pointing in direction 90, like pointing left to right is 90, pointing up is 0, right? You've seen these before. Negative 90 is left, 0 is up, 180 is down. But here's what I'm going to say. I want you to point in, and I'm going to put that in there, whatever direction the motion was. So point in whatever direction the person moved, and I'm going to put this in this if statement. So it's only going to happen if there's some big movement over it. So here it comes. So there's no motion. I'm going to try to, see my finger down here? I'm going to try to move up. Well, it caught me. It caught it coming back down instead of going up. Whoop. Well, hold on. Let's try this way. Right? Let's try that way. Let's try that way. It's a little intense. Let's switch this number a little bit. I'm going to put this back to like 50. So it will be a little more sensitive. But anyway. So half the problem is that it sometimes hears you go in both directions. So that's a little weird. But crazy. Let's do this. Let's put a wait block in here. so that it will, after it points in that direction, it won't listen to you for just a little bit, so it won't go totally crazy. So let's say, well, I don't know why I thought that was, so it's not perfect, but, oh, there we go. I cannot, oh, that one heard me coming back down. So, it's not perfect, but he will respond to you. He hears what direction, that was kind of weird. He will hear what direction that you said he was going in. So, that could make your cat kind of respond to your directions. And of course, you could play with this number here to change your sensitivity. But now you've got this sprite that is always, if there's a big motion, it will try to point in the direction that motion is going. And you might have him wait for 2 seconds if you want to. You could do something like that. Okay, so another thing you could do, I took out the meow because it was getting on my nerves. I took out the wait a little bit. You could say point in that direction and move, right? And so you could kind of drive him around with your hand instead of the keyboard, right? So he's not the easiest really to drive around all the time, but right? Awesome. So beautiful. So you've got the basics of listening, saying if there's a big motion, then I'll move in, I'll respond to that and I'll use that direction as well. Now what we're going to do next video is you're going to make a game out of this, and it's going to be epic.